Thank you for tuning in live to Read and Read's Live Feed Read podcast. We go live every Friday at 1 p.m. Come join us for a laugh, learn something, or both. It's a great way to kick off your weekend. Paul, let's dive into today. What do we have going on? Yeah.
Screwed up.
Yeah, I do.
You're an idiot.
It's
So
what,
are we
right?
are we on?
Yeah, we're on. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, that was freaking me out, man. All right. Well, welcome to another edition of Live Feed Read. I'm Paul Reed, your host, with Jason Crawford, the Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson. Welcome back. Evidently, neither one of us was significantly injured in a firework mishap. July 4th, thank goodness. I hope
Thank goodness.
TV land out there, nothing significant happened to anyone as well.
Yep.
Let's jump right into it. Of course, last week we talked about the Supreme Court's 3 or 4 different rulings, and one of them being, striking down affirmative action, which is basically, the consideration for a race in college admissions. Quite simple.
Right. Yeah.
Well, then of course you watch the pundits, whether it be CNN, Fox,
Oh, yeah. All the opinion pieces came out.
Tampa Times, you name it. You're watching. Something I learned, Jason, was interesting that I didn't know, and I think may even be a surprise to you.
Oh boy.
So we're gonna play a little game.
All right, I've got Google ready
All
to
right,
help me out in my corner.
evidently, affirmative action was outlawed prior to the Supreme Court's decision last week in 9 states.
Whoa.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I did not. And so, out of 50 states, I'm not a math major, but about 20% or so basically already had outlawed affirmative action in the admissions processes for college, right?
Okay.
Well, let's play a little game. What state in the continental United States, it could be Alaska, Hawaii, I say continental, what state was the first to ban affirmative action in college? When I say college, university and college, that's intertwined the same thing. What state was first to ban a race-based admissions policy?
Alabama. I don't know. I don't know. That's my guess.
I asked Michelle and Des the same question.
What did they say?
Well, Alabama.
Everybody thinks that.
What? Okay, continue guessing.
Okay. Montana.
Nope. And Montana is not on one of the 9 states.
Okay.
And believe it or not, Alabama was not one of the 9.
Interesting.
Keep going.
Ooh, Texas.
Nope. And Texas is not one of the 9.
All right. This is getting difficult.
Well, here's
North
let's
Dakota.
do this.
Let go over Alaska. Hold on. Alaska.
So the ones that have banned it, I'm going to tell you 8 of them. Idaho, Arizona, Florida, Nebraska, New Hampshire, Oklahoma, Washington, and Michigan. That's 8 of the 9. Now, mind you, Idaho, Arizona, Florida, Nebraska, Oklahoma, a little more red, even though you could, we're not sure where Arizona lies nowadays. Washington and Michigan and New Hampshire, certainly a little more blue, so about 50-50. Now, back to the question. What was the first state to ban affirmative action as it relates to affirmative action in college and university admission?
Minnesota?
How about California?
Oh, what? Are you serious?
Proposition, 209 was approved in California, thank you, in 1996 and took effect in 1998. Now, listen, we don't do politics here. I'm not making a judgment call.
Yeah, we're not taking sides.
To say it has surprised me and you and our listeners out there that California, arguably one of the most liberal states in the United States, had already banned affirmative action in the colleges.
Interesting.
I wonder if that's why you're not hearing a lot of squawk come out of California politicians. I don't know.
Interesting.
All right. Well, I just thought I found that to be interesting because it seemed like affirmative action was banned by the Supreme Court, and that was kind of the first of its kind, so to speak. But obviously, it wasn't. There were 9 states that already had banned it in their admissions process. Interestingly enough.
Yeah, I mean, and I've heard like YouTube content coming out of the like ether everywhere talking about the subject.
Well, yeah, I bring it up because once again, it's pack the Supreme Court, put on more judges and so forth. But all right, well, let's move on. It was just, I found that to be interesting. Certainly, I believe you could have won a lot of money if you would had people bet on which school was first, and you give them 5 choices, and if
you would have took my money.
You lose your money because I agree. Everybody, of course, thought the Deep South and maybe some of the Midwest, but no. All right, number 2. This is important. Remember, because we literally received a call as it relates to the statute of limitations when it comes to negligence cases, meaning dog bites, car accidents, still medical malpractice, things of that nature. It is of utmost importance for you to understand it is no longer, as of March 24th, a day that will live in infamy. It is no longer 4 years. It is 2 years. Okay.
That's the tort reform, right?
Deform. I'm sorry, not reform.
Tort deform.
Deform. Yes.
It also impacted dog bites.
Dog bites, car wrecks, slip and falls. So
I didn't make that connection the first time.
You can't wait. Is the point? If you don't want to bring a claim, so to speak, at least call and get some information from some personal injury lawyer. But anyway, just out there, remember, it's 2 years. And the reason I bring it up, an individual called on a medical malpractice case that occurred in 2018. Sorry about your luck. You've got 2 things going against you. One, you've got the statute of limitations, but then there's also in Florida what's called a statute of repose. Statute of repose says even if you can get around the statute of limitations of 2 years, which there are some, the discovery rule and some other things that may allow you to get past 2 years, the statute of repose in medical malpractice says no matter what, 4 years, that's it. Now, there may be a concealment fraud, but how are you going to prove that? How are you going to prove the doctor committed fraud against you in a medical malpractice? I guess it's possible. But either way, the individual waited too long was the moral story. And
I've heard
now,
some people saying that they're like, don't you have to wait 2 years to file a medical malpractice lawsuit?
If you crash into me outside at 8:30 in the morning, Jason, I can walk here and at 8:35 sue you. So to answer your question, no.
Got you.
Yeah, and in fact, those law firms that kind of teeter on the brink of waiting always because maybe they have too many cases or for whatever reason, you really do a disservice, to be quite honest with your client, in my opinion, waiting years to file, to either settle the case or bring a claim, because, cases don't get better over time. Simple as that. So anyway, so there's that. 2 years. All right, next. Another case came in this week where an individual had rented a car, from, Hertz Enterprise or whatever. And of course, when you rent a car, as you're aware, you sign a lease agreement, right? A rental agreement.
Yes.
All right. And if you've rented a car, you go up and say, when are you returning? Right? Yeah, I'm going to be here back at the airport Friday, 6, 8, 10 o'clock or whatever. Or you are involved in a crash, and the other side, the at-fault party's insurance company, pays for you to have a rental. Right. And they say, okay, we're going to give you the rental for 5 days or 10 days or 2 days, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So what happens if you don't return the rental?
I don't know. That's interesting.
Well,
You're held accountable, I would assume.
it's a felony.
Oh,
Yes. It's there now
interesting.
on the rental agreements, specifically with the cars or the U-Haul or things of that nature. There are some requirements from the companies, but I guarantee you, this required notice. If you look the next time you rent a car, a U-Haul or otherwise, failure to return rental property or equipment upon expiration of the rental period,
Mm,
and failure to pay all amounts due, yada yada yada, is punishable by Florida Statute 812(1)(v)(5). Basically, it's a felony.
wow.
Well, I have heard
Wow.
that this individual just ignored the emails and the text and the calls. And this wasn't a client of ours. This was someone basically who just
Right.
called because they were had some issues with this. And I'm like, yeah, no, you when you're instructed to return it and you do not, it's a problem. They can press criminal charges
Wow.
against you.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think that's proper and good, but
make sure,
still.
and there's some defenses, but if
Yeah.
you're renting a car or if you're in
Yeah.
a car accident and the defendant's insurance company, the tortfeasor's insurance company, is
Gotta pay
providing with
attention
your
to it.
car, and let's say
Yeah.
your car is not ready or for whatever reason you need to extend it, you can't just, well, my
Keep
car's
it.
not ready, I'm going to keep it. No, 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 no.
Mm.
You have to contact the
Yeah.
the insurance company or whomever and make arrangements to do so. Again, another reason to
Mm.
consult with a lawyer, because wouldn't you hate to be in a crash? Let's say you're not even injured, but
Yeah.
your car is being repaired. It's taking longer than you think, which it does
Yeah.
nowadays because of the supply chain. And the
Yep.
next thing you know, the police are knocking at your door wanting to arrest you because you haven't returned the rental car.
Sure.
All
Yeah,
right.
there's a lot of things that are small like that add up. That if you're, I mean, like how often do you know? It's not like I have a car accident every year or every couple of months. It's like you don't experience that often. So when it does happen to you, you don't really know all the like I would say weight that your attorneys carry by all those little things
Well,
maybe to
yeah,
help keep in
ours
place for you.
we do deal with this, and it's simply usually Michelle or Melody will call and say, "Hey, look, car's not ready. You need to extend it."
Yeah,
About 99% of the time, okay. So it just you just got to communicate.
yeah,
Communication is key, for
yeah,
sure. Basically, communication is key in life, but it certainly is
sure,
in the legal field as well. So let's
certainly.
rehash. Affirmative
Okay.
action. It was already in 9 states, so I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
that's wild.
Florida was one of them. What the surprise was there in the Supreme Court. The Uber Lyft. Did we talk about the Uber Lyft, the insurance, or did I skip it?
You skipped that. What is
All
that?
right, well, that can be. Let's real
Well,
quickly. Here's
we
the
can
deal,
save it.
Jason. If you
Okay.
drive for Uber, you drive for Lyft, you drive for DoorDash, and we had talked
Yep.
about this in the past, but Michelle has been take some Ubers, I take some Ubers, other people take Ubers, and I asked the driver, by any chance, do you have commercial insurance on your car, or just regular, Geico,
Right.
Allstate, and
Regular
so
car
forth?
insurance
And
for a driver.
I've never heard of one that has indicated, and I talked to Michelle, that no, they went ahead and bought commercial insurance. They
Mm-hmm.
don't. And so
Wow.
here's what happens, Jason. You have
Yikes.
a let's just say a nice mid-sized $30,000 car, which
Mm-hmm.
nowadays that's an Altima
Yep.
an SUV's $40,000, and
Sure.
you have comp and collision because you're still paying on it,
Yep.
and you're out driving for
Delivering
Uber, Lyft,
pizzas,
or otherwise,
DoorDash, whatever. Yeah.
and one of two things happens. One, you're at fault in the crash, of course, or two, you're not at fault, but the person that hits you either A, does not have insurance at all, or B, only has, the $10,000 requirement in Florida for property damage, right?
I think that actually happened to
Oh, it
someone
happened. I
right
know it
here
happened. I got
outside
news
of
for you.
our.
It's happened to our clients. So what
Oof.
happens to Jason
Oof.
who is driving for Uber, has just regular insurance. His car's totaled. It's a $30,000 car, and he owes the bank $20,000, and he has comp and collision with a $500 deductible. And the insurance company calls Jason and they ask him a few questions. And one of them is, were you driving for Uber or Lyft at the time? You say, yeah. And they say, have a nice day and hang up. What happens to Jason in his property damage claim with his own insurance company?
I get dropped.
Well, you may or may not get dropped, but they're going to deny your claim. They're going to say, well, the policy requires you that you cannot be driving.
That was operating the vehicle outside of the terms of the policy, basically.
Correct. And so now you owe the bank 20 grand. And you don't have a car.
Oh, man.
Jason is not at fault, and he gets hit by Paul, who has $10,000 policy. Well, now you can sue Paul, but if Paul only has a $10,000 policy, chances of winning are slim to none. Not to mention it's going to be 2 to 3 years down the road. Yada yada yada. So now Jason's will get $10,000 from Paul's insurance. His insurance will still deny him under the comp and collision because he was driving for Uber or Lyft. So now Jason only owes $10,000 to the bank and doesn't have a car.
Yeah, wow.
People, here's the problem, Jason, which everyone knows. If you buy the insurance that's required, probably driving for Uber and Lyft is not going to amount to a profit. Meaning, if I got to pay $1,000 a month for car insurance because I'm driving for Uber or Lyft, and I make plus gasoline, and I make I don't know what people make, but $1,000 or $1,500, it's just not going to work out. So I get it.
Yeah.
But you need to understand that you're basically driving an uninsured car when you're driving for Uber and Lyft at the time of the crash.
So what I'm hearing you say is that if you're going to do any of those things, you need to be committed enough to that thing as not just a weekend. Like I've heard some people say, oh, I make like $200 on the weekend or something like that, or maybe $500. But like if you're not committed to making at least enough to cover the insurance and the gas, etc., that you're kind of like doing it just to break even.
That's interesting. Is that people are just kind of bored and want a little extra money. And I'll say, well, I'll go out Friday, Saturday, not realizing, and they have a job Monday through Friday. They need their car. They have kids, not realizing that your life could be catastrophically affected that Friday night or Saturday night.
Wow.
You're out there just making a couple $100, and your car's totaled, and there ain't nobody to pay for it.
Yo, that's
so you have to really consider, is this worth it? Risk benefit analysis. The benefit, I'm making a couple $100 that I need. The risk, I'm going to lose my car, which is going to, in turn, I'm not going to lose my job. I'm not going to be able to drive my kids to, so you got to take that into consideration. Yeah, the couple $100. And here's the deal. It can happen to you. The philosophy that it can't, I'm a good driver and it won't happen to me.
You're definitely rolling the dice on that.
Yeah. And so anyway, all right. Well, affirmative action, the Uber Lyft insurance, 2-year statute of limitations, and the failure to return your rental car. These are the things that basically I have addressed this week. So I wanted to address them with you.
Okay, cool.
And that's why we're here. 4th of July was good. We had the parade started right outside, and I think it was good to see the parade back after a 3-year COVID hiatus.
Yeah.
So that's good. Other than that, that's all I got for you today.
Can I share something with you that I found that's funny? All right.
Go ahead. Is this audio or video? No.
Is it doing it?
Is somebody burping?
Yeah. Oop, excuse me. That's my bad. That's my laughing their heads off at this. Was just anyway. Okay.
To say you're an idiot would be an understatement. But that having been said, once again, let me hey, if you haven't bought the book, I don't know why. It's inexpensive. It's really, look, throw it on the Crapper, John J. Crapper, because
Yeah.
these stories are 1 page, 2 page, and so when you're
Goodreads.
killing time, read
Yeah.
the book.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Oh, come here. Now,
Sorry, I had to
Millie?
do the burp thing.
Look
My
at
kids
Millie.
are laughing.
Hey,
Hey, Millie. Hey, Millie. Oh, my goodness, you're so cute.
all right. The law dog is here, Millie Light. She says hello and goodbye. So
All right,
I'm
man.
out. I got nothing else
All
for
right.
you.
You got it. I'll take us out from here.
All righty. God willing, we'll see you next week.